The Mirror of Thoughts, Episode 3. Rio was once again immersed in the afterglow of opening the box. Seeing a world without war, two emotions intertwined in his heart. One was the relief and hope brought by that ideal peace. The other was the despair that such a world seemed impossible to achieve in reality. If only we could create such a world in reality. Rio pondered, but quickly reconsidered. Reality is complex. Politics, economics, culture, and history are intertwined, and peace cannot be easily built. Yet, he believed that what the box showed was not just a fantasy. Did the box reflect a possible future or another reality? Rio's doubts deepened. That day, Rio decided to investigate the box further. The old book he found in the library had little information about the origin or role of the box, but one sentence caught his eye. The mirror of thoughts reflects another reality that sleeps within your heart. Rio paused at those words. Another reality. He thought deeply about what this could mean as he returned home. Holding the box, he renewed his resolve. The next world it would show might answer more personal questions he had. He thought about his family. Rio's father had quit his job a few years ago, and since then, the family had struggled financially. His mother supported the household by working part-time, and Rio himself worked part-time jobs to make ends meet. However, their life was far from easy, and daily worries about the future kept piling up. What if my family had a richer and more stable life? With that thought, Rio slowly opened the lid of the box. Once again, light spread out and a new world appeared before his eyes. This world was completely different from his current life. Rio's family lived in a spacious house, and his father was a successful businessman. His mother was a full-time homemaker, dedicated to caring for the family, and the house was filled with smiles. Rio himself was shown enjoying his university life without any financial worries. Could such a life exist? Rio gasped at the sight. It seemed like an ideal family life was unfolding before him. He stepped into the house and looked at his parents. They were youthful and full of energy. They smiled gently at Rio and enjoyed a meal together. "Rio, what do you want to do in the future?" his father asked calmly. "Huh?" Rio was surprised. His real father had never gently asked about his future like that. His strict father, who always worked to support the family, never had the time to talk about Rio's future. But in this world, his father seemed to cherish time with the family without being burdened by work. Rio opened his mouth but couldn't say anything. He didn't know how he felt about this ideal family. On the surface, it looked perfect, but deep down, something felt missing. Is this really okay? Rio questioned himself. In this world, there were no financial worries, but the bonds and struggles he felt in his real family seemed to have faded. The strong bonds forged by overcoming difficult times together were not visible in this world. Everything seemed to be going well, but there was an emptiness in the background. Rio walked around the house, listening to the family's conversations, but they felt somewhat superficial. They seemed happy, but Rio began to doubt if this was truly the family he wanted. Suddenly, Rio's vision began to waver again. Before the box closed, he took one last look at his family. They were smiling, but their smiles felt distant. Back in reality, Rio sighed deeply. An ideal life doesn't necessarily bring happiness, he murmured. The box had given him one answer, but it also raised new questions. What is happiness? Rio sat in front of the box, thinking deeply for a while. The world the box showed seemed to reflect his deepest desires and wishes, but it wasn't necessarily the ideal answer for him. Rio struggled with whether to accept the visions the box showed or to face reality. The next time he opened the box, Rio felt he needed to look deeper into his own heart. To find out what the answer was, he decided to delve further into the secrets of the box. There must be a world I haven't seen yet. Rio whispered quietly, reaching for the box again, seeking the next world it would reveal.